Last time on the Great Ace Attorney 2.
Last 10 years, I've completely blotted out the memories of that time from my mind. Thinking back now, I really can't imagine that the shooting of Mr. Asogi in the cemetery was ever part of the plan. If the intention was always to betray him, why would there be any need for all the chicaneries of an escape?
Under normal circumstances, no man would stake his life on a gentleman's agreement like that.
Which means that Mr. Asogi must have had a trump card. It turns out that Mr. Asogi was hiding his will in his cell at Berkeley. And after the convict had been killed following the elaborate pretense of the jailbreak, that document mysteriously disappeared, didn't it? Mr. Asogi described this document as the only weapon he had left. And yet, this will contains nothing of significance at all. Nothing that would have given the convict any leverage.
Are you suggesting, my learned friend, that the last will and testament stored at Berkeley Prison is actually a fake?
Clearly, we need to get to the bottom of this.
No, we don't!
Yes, we do!
No!
Shut up! We need to know exactly what happened with these so-called Asogi papers.
A waste of time! If the will was fake, where is the real document? I only found out about the Asogi papers when a directive came telling me to impound them. The document was in the folds of the fella's robe that was left in his cell. That's a lie! We searched every inch of the man's cell. We looked through all his clothes. It can't be true. We complied with Asogi's will as far as was possible. All of his personal effects were delivered to his family home in Japan. Aye, and you can't deny the handwriting is of your old man, eh?
Yes, there's no mistaking that it's my father's brushwork.
And this last will and testament was the man's last weapon, was it? I think we can safely assume that the convict was merely prattling.
But according to what you told us 2 days ago, the convict had been strictly forbidden from having any writing materials.
So when exactly was the will penned?
At the prosecutor's office under supervision.
In that case, why was it found in his cell? If it was penned at the prosecutor's office, you would have expected that it would remain there for safekeeping, surely.
The defense makes an astute point. Lord Strongheart, perhaps you can shed some light on the matter.
As if! All I can tell you is that my orders were to do everything in my power to find that document.
Was that the wording? Document, not will?
Aye, that's what it said.
Am I clutching at straws here? I just wonder if it was really Genshin Asogi's last will and testament at the center of that directive was after.
And welcome back to another episode of Disillusion Plays The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices.
And get excited!
Yeah. Yes, indeed! And as you know, but just a little reminder in case you're new or you've forgotten, I'm Sarah.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Taylor.
Nice.
Nice! And just before we get on in there, please consider giving us a little like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell.
Nice one. Right then, without further ado.
Those of you who have Disillusion Plays messes up an intro on their bingo card, sadly you will not get that box this time.
We got one up on you today.
What we also need is we need another square on that bingo card of like Taylor continues to point out things that are on the bingo card. Taylor calls out items on the bingo
Taylor
card.
references the bingo card is on the bingo card.
Yeah. Better.
bingo cardception.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh God, you've got to be serious.
I'm excited. I'm excited because like
it's...
last week was like holy crap.
Indeed, it was.
Okay. Despite the seriousness of his crimes, he was treated in a gentlemanly fashion until the end.
And by that I mean brutally executed.
He was bludgeoned to the face with a brick.
Oof.
But it was very kindly done.
Kind of kind way.
What was the word he used? Sorry? Gentlemanly.
Gentlemanly.
Yes, and I bashed his head in very... did I say I? I meant to say someone. Bashed his head in very gentlemanly.
When he was callously betrayed and shot dead in a dark cemetery in the middle of the night. Yes, the gentlemanliness of it is overwhelming.
If there's one thing that I will say at my inevitable demise, is that you can't say that I wasn't gentlemanly.
Actually, I mean, it works either way, though, because, you know, he is going to be denying stuff. So
yeah.
If there's one thing I can say about my denies.
Is I will deny everything.
Yes, in the most gentlemanly fashion possible.
That testimony doesn't give much away.
Crap, what testimony?
Well, I guess we're gonna have a
We're
refresher,
gonna have
guys.
to loop through that one again, I think, guys.
Oh yes, it was the Asogi papers. There was some question.
Right, because
because
it's his will, but it seems like it was swapped out because
Yes, yeah.
because he said referred to it as the only weapon he had left, but this obviously doesn't have anything in there, so it seems like, you know, he wrote the will in front of Strongheart and everybody else, but then at some point it got swapped.
Switcheroo.
Yeah, it was wrote in the prosecutor's office, wasn't it, the original one?
Yes.
Because he wasn't
It'll
allowed
be-
any writing material in his cell.
It'll be behind Strongheart. Strongheart will have a picture on his desk, and then he'll have hidden the Asogi papers in the frame behind a photo.
Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Are you spoiling a movie there, Taylor?
No. I am glad that you got it, though.
Yes, I
Anyway.
am. Don't reference the name.
Okay, I'm gonna carry on.
Because otherwise that'll spoil it for anyone else.
Okay. I think I'm lost. I don't know. So
I can't
you're all
tell you
right.
until we're off recording.
I know.
So you'll have to wait.
So this was this.
Mr. Zato,
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
what's wrong?
I don't know.
I
I
can't.
appear to have left my teeth at home.
I can't believe that I'm missing lunch and being potentially accused of everything under the sun by these two galoots.
Why don't you shut up?
Because I'm in charge.
You won't be for much longer.
We'll see
So-
about that.
This will really was penned by Kazuma-sama's father. I wonder what he could possibly have meant when he described it as a weapon.
Well, I mean, if you like fold it over 1,000 times, it could potentially be used. Well, I was going to say as a katana, but like maybe like a bludgeoning stick.
Susato just folds it into a little paper aeroplane and launches it at Strongheart's head, and it pokes him in the eye.
I was going to say, yeah, it goes straight through his eye and into his brain, kills him instantly. So yeah, there's an image you wanted.
You're welcome.
It's starting to sound very much like Mr. Asogi actually had nothing.
The plan to break him out of jail went ahead, which means he must have had some bargaining power. He must have been hiding something. It's the only explanation that makes sense.
It's starting to sound like Mr. Asogi actually might have had something.
It's like
Naruhodo.
it's just like I'm repeating myself.
No, well, he originally said he has nothing. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no, he actually has something. There
Yeah,
it
no,
is.
that's what I mean. He's repeating himself though. It's the same line except for the last bit.
Which is it, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm not sure. But I feel as though I'm on the brink of understanding all this.
I feel that the fact that the saying "had something" was written in orange or brown, whatever, it sort of suggests that that was the significant one we should be paying attention to.
Maybe.
Let's listen to all the information again and see what more we can learn. We can't overlook even the smallest detail.
And even
I agree.
yeah, if anything, just to give the players some recap of
A
what
refresher
actually is
of
going
what
on.
happened.
Well, guys, you could have just watched the recap at the start of the video.
Ah, yes, the recap that doesn't yet exist.
I haven't made it yet, Taylor. I'm behind on my chores.
Oh, chores.
Absolutely.
Okie doke.
All right then. So, as the warder responsible for condemned convicts, I attended to Mr. Asogi and kept watch over his cell. Ow! The night after he was found guilty in court, he was doing something with that will in his cell.
Right, and then it vanished, and then Barry came back and was like, "Oh, I found it inside of his robe here, his kimono."
Yeah.
Huh. We turned the cell inside out, looking for it after the execution, but to no avail. I only found out about the Asogi papers when a directive came telling me to impound them. The document was in the folds of the fella's robe that was left in his cell. A kimono, I think it's called.
Kimono.
Right.
Okay.
That test. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
And
so-
now
so
we
we'll
circle
loop it
back
through.
around to the start.
Yeah,
And now
so
we-
now we'll press
Oh,
everything.
this was a bad place to leave it, guys.
Hold it! So, would that mean that you conversed with Mr. Asogi?
Yes, certainly. Though there was precious little time before his execution was due. he was remarkably calm, considering his days were very much numbered. In all honesty, he really didn't strike one as a man capable of mass murder. Now, we have heard this, I remember.
Yes,
I think
we have, yeah.
I think we did press everything. It's just I can't remember what.
Yet he confessed in full to the crimes. Oh no, that's why I felt compelled to ask him one day. I can still recall his reply. I'm guilty of the unforgivable crime of ending another human's life. Yes.
Can we check the court record here?
Yeah, like what do you want to look for, man? We've got the ring, the telegram from Japan, the small component, the drill. This is all irrelevant.
Can we pull the rabbit?
What, right now?
Yes.
Flint's autopsy report. So yeah, so the Asogi Papers. I request that all my possessions go to my son, Kazuma, in the Empire of Japan. It's with deep sadness I accept my fate in this foreign land in the knowledge that I will never see my homeland or family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path.
What about the ring?
So, did we examine it?
We did examine it, and we were like, it's dead sharp.
Examine.
What, you want me to click it again anyway?
No.
No, I just wondered if we had or not yet.
No, Taylor said examine.
No, he was doing a bit.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if he was asking me to examine it.
Oh, okay.
What
okay.
is
Gregson's trunk, a commemorative photograph, inspector Greg pocket watch, photo. These are. That's Gregson's one. Revolvers, not relevant. It's not relevant. Mr. Vigil dismissal notice. Aiding and abetting the escape from this prison of convict blah blah blah. Just prior to his execution, the details of the escape are still being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed that the convict engaged in some form of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. So that bit might be useful. Letter of introduction.
Oh, hang on. I know Caden said like he didn't have he didn't know where the orders came from and he didn't really know much about it. I don't know if you knew like the ins and outs of like somebody having somebody working on the inside, because if not, then why would he write it in there if he didn't know?
So let's see. Sorry, I only found out about the Asogi Papers when a directive came telling me to impound them. The document was in the folds of his kimono.
I feel we need to press him.
Let's have a look. The letter of introduction on behalf of Makotoba, passage to a steamship. Yeah, none of this. So hang on. So it's this. Details of the escape.
Because he kept saying, "Oh, I didn't know anything about it," and I think.
It's believed that the convict engaged in some form of negotiation. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. I mean, it does say details are being investigated, and Barry Caden has written this.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, why would he put it if he hadn't got a clue, then he wouldn't have put anything. And would Vigil not have? Well, no, Vigil jumped out the window though, didn't he?
The last will and testament against Asogi that Mr. Vigil claims disappeared after the convict's execution. Apparently, Mr. Asogi described it as the only weapon I have left. Let's talk to Caden.
Hold it! And that directive came from the same sources. Okay, yeah, the one instructing you about the jailbreak. Yeah, we have seen this.
Aye, from the top levels of the prosecutor's office.
What name was on it?
I didn't ken afore. I didn't ken afore, and I didn't ken now. Ken might know then, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is that my orders were to do everything in my power to find that document. The directive said it had to be somewhere inside the fella's cell.
Document.
Oh, yeah, describe.
Was that the wording? Document, not will.
Aye. That's what it said.
Am I clutching at straws here? I just wonder if it was really Genshin Asogi's last will and testament at the center of that directive was after.
Continue with your testimony then, witness.
The document. So they're drawing attention to that, but like, what else do we have that's document-like?
Wait, how about the telegram?
So the telegram... Wait, sorry, hang on, telegram.
The telegram is the names of the list.
From Inspector Hosonaga. Yeah, so... That's from Judge Jigoku.
Unless, the dismissal notice.
Wait, can we open up Gregson's trunk again?
Sure. I believe it just had the...
Just got his passport in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind.
Yep.
Just press...
And then Karuma.
Yeah. Just press Caden on that one. Just see what he said again.
Hang on a minute. The illustrious blade passed down from the Asogi clan. The tip was missing, and we used that to establish about the thing. Sorry, press this one.
Press this one. I can't
remember what he said.
Hold it! Mr. Asogi's kimono.
Aye. The one he'd brought with him when he was locked up.
Yes, he was permitted to have his personal effects with him during his incarceration, I understand.
That's right. He was granted as much freedom as possible during the last few days before his execution. Indeed. He had a number of items of personal significance, I remember.
Well, Karuma would have been in the cell with him then. Maybe that's what we need to look at.
Because he was taught... They did say that, didn't they? Yeah. He was very reluctant to part with them. Some books, that kimono, his sword...
The only weapon he has left. I mean, that would be...
Oh,
can't find anything out of place.
Sorry. It's because I meant to click there. Huh. The headband.
Karuma, the Great Blade. It's such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze on it for hours. Can we look at the scabbard again?
No, there isn't much to it.
Because, yeah, I'm wondering if there was like a code or something, right? Or a cipher.
Like a paper hidden somewhere.
Yeah. But no, it just... And then it's like the tip, which is missing.
The tip of the great sword, broken. Such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I can almost hear Karuma's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen.
I mean, see, it's frustrating, isn't it, as well? Because I know like Shom said about. Wait, I mean, can we investigate and pull his ears?
What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now?
I'm sure that we'll find out when the time is right.
Dang it.
Okay.
To become a proper gentleman, you must really learn stoic patience.
But I want to know.
So do we.
Okay, I just like. Ugh.
Can we look at the profiles of people?
You can't present them though. Like, as I say, we won't be able to present them. We can look at them, but it won't really help. He was very reluctant to part with them. Some books, that kimono, his sword.
His sword.
Karuma, the famous sword of the Asogi clan. It bears the soul of my family.
I don't doubt it, but I wasn't really getting at that. Forget it being the soul of the clan, could the man have had a more obvious weapon?
Have some respect, Ryunosuke.
Have some respect, Ryunosuke.
Respectful silence?
The warders carry firearms at all times, and the inmates have shackles around their ankles. He couldn't have hurt anybody with that thing.
Still, he was allowed a sword, but no writing materials.
Aye. He wrote that will before he came to stay with us at Barclay, you see. Dr. Mikotoba was asked to bring the necessary Japanese writing implements to the prosecutor's office.
A Susuri inkstone, black sumi ink, and some Hanshi rice paper, no doubt.
I was present when he wrote it, but I'm sorry to say, the letters just look like a squirmy mess of jet black outlines to me.
That was what happened, is because we went past it and then ended the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me!
Huzzah.
Are you feeling faint, Mr. Vigil? So, you know what's funny is I'm sure in the last episode we said, okay, we should remember to come back and do this in the next one.
Yeah, we probably did.
That never happens.
Work of fiction. It's made up by a writer.
It's made up by a writer.
Not this time.
Not this time. Total fabrication.
Mr. Vigil!
Sir! I had to really stop myself going, sir! It was Scarlet, sir.
Oh. Interesting.
Scarlet?
What?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blurt it out like that.
Less swaying and more explaining would be helpful.
It's all right for you. You ain't got the migraine.
Is it something about the testimony we just heard? Have you recalled something of importance?
You bloody well keep quiet, boy. Don't you say anything. Oh, it's something of importance. Possibly. Oh, possibly not.
I'm unable to tell which way he's leaning, I'm afraid. Apart from all over the place.
You keep doing that, boy.
My lord, the defense asks that Mr. Vigil be permitted to supplement his testimony with this possibly or possibly not important detail.
No.
Oh, for God's sake. Permission granted.
Oh.
Go ahead, Mr. Vigil.
Yes, it was Scarlet. As I remember it, the document was written in Scarlet ink, but perhaps I'm mistaken.
I mean, now we should be able to present
the papers,
the
which
will.
are definitely not
No.
shit.
Object. That last statement seemed a little questionable to me.
We should have done a save. We finally lost our record.
Oh.
I see no inconsistency there. Do you? The only question is, do we...
I guess we need to press that one?
Yeah, I guess we do. You can span the Straits of Dover with those wide eyes, Council, and be gone from this island forever. I hope. Yeah, I hope.
Do you want me to fill the English Channel with tears?
So, there's something about red in Clint's autopsy, is what I was going to say.
Oh!
Oh, yeah, the red on his fingers.
Whether it's relevant...
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it says
Scarlet ink
Scarlet.
stain. Yeah, Scarlet ink stains visible on
Well done, Sarah.
the... Wait, so do you think
Yeah, that one.
present
But
it?
it's like, what we need to know what this
I think
is.
present. I think, sorry, hold first. Press first.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Scarlet, you say?
Well, yes. I mean, I only caught sight of it for a brief moment, of course. But even by the dim light in the cell, I remember thinking that it was an unusual colour. At the very least, I'm quite sure it wasn't black.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Witness! Is that really what you saw? Sir?
Is something wrong, Lord Strongheart?
Sorry, I let my emotions get the better of me.
I apologise. Continue.
Oh, we've got him on edge, boys!
What do you make of that, Mr. Naruhodo? For Lord Strongheart to be so visibly shaken in that way.
Ugh! Didn't have it? You can plainly see the writing here, honey. It's black as the Earl of Hell's waistcoat. Oh, well, yes. You're right.
Mr. Vigil, I'd like to confirm one point with you. Did you actually see the content of the document that Mr. Asogi was holding that night?
And then Strongheart's like...
Just steaming in the corner.
Well, no. I mean, there was no time. As soon as he noticed me there, he hid it behind his back.
But it was definitely a will, was it?
Well, you know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Ooh.
Yes.
Good one.
It was. That's what Mr. Asogi told me. The court need waste no further time on this matter.
Editor's note.
We have the will in question in our possession. There is nothing more to add.
No, we don't.
A will written in scarlet ink. What did Mr. Vigil really see Kazuma's father holding, I wonder?
Oh, Susato! If you have an inkling. If you have an inkling, Mr. Naruhodo, you must present it to the court at once. Oh yeah, sorry viewers, we wasted about 20 minutes of the episode trying to pick it out again.
Really boring content.
Yeah.
And again, if you're watching this after the next one, you're going to be like, guys,
Yeah.
you literally just did. No, unfortunately not. It's been, we've all slept since then.
Yeah, safety save.
Sarah, good call.
Safety save!
I mean,
I'm not sure!
I mean, it doesn't matter now, does it? We've gone down from 5 to 4, so it's
let's
like...
keep
what's
4,
the,
shall
like,
we?
what-
We're going to have to restart the game, guys.
God, no.
Start from the first one.
From the first one, yeah. Objection!
Yes!
Scarlet-colored writing is what you said you thought you saw, Mr. Vigil.
No, he
A scarlet letter, if you will. And I believe that's exactly what you did see.
What? Heavens again! You have no evidence to say that!
Actually.
I, in fact, havers some evidence right here. I didn't say the line.
Well, say it then.
Have a look at this report. Thank you.
That's...
Whoa.
Excuse me, I'm trying to... That's my brother's autopsy report.
It's like Pete is trying to shift the voice box.
Look.
He's trying to shift gears, but he keeps on. He got stuck.
Look, I'm already conscious enough that Van Zeeks and Strongheart sound similar. I have been trying to take steps to make them sound distinct.
They do.
Then when they get aggravated, they start to sound similar again, and so it's difficult for me. Leave me alone.
You're doing well.
Thank you, but I still find it hard.
No, I mean, it's just, I just thought it was amusing because it's like you slipped into Godot almost.
Yeah, it was like real deep.
Well, I don't know anything about that kitten. Something like
hat.
that. About that kitten.
Yeah, Godot is a Discord mod confirmed. Anyway, yes, and there's something in here that's bothered me since I first read it.
It states that scarlet-colored ink stains were noted on the
Noted on the victim of the finger's right hand.
Were noted on the victim of the fingers, like Elden Ring. The victim of the 3 fingers.
Oh no.
Scarlet-colored ink stains were noted on the fingers of the victim's right hand, which had been put out of commission in spectacular fashion.
Do you know, I was going to say it as well.
So she was prepared.
I was prepared.
So you didn't take Sarah out in spectacular fashion for the whole video this time.
Scroll.
Yeah.
Except I have a rather large scroll.
Guys, we've
yes.
already wasted a considerable amount of time.
I'm trying. Yes. So it does.
Scarlet ink?
Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, I freely admit.
And I will say that, like, when we were in school, you were told off if you wrote in scarlet ink. It was described as being very rude. I suspect it's more because the teachers like to write in scarlet, and so they didn't want to...
Well, yeah, that's how they know that you've messed something up.
Yeah.
But I would hazard a guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips, do they?
Pete, Sarah, can you confirm?
I mean, personally, not right now.
I mean, yeah, I guess if I wash my hands, the ink will get off, but, like, yeah, just at the minute. Your wit is not appreciated.
Oh.
My brother was a well-bred and fastidious man. Should ink have sullied his fingertips, he would have cleaned them immediately. As you know, the Van Zieks family always have a satchel of wet wipes. What's your point, Counsel?
Guess he didn't have time to
use his
My
little wet wipes.
point is this. Whatever Lord Clint Van Zieks was writing in that unusually colored ink, it must have been directly before his death.
Must have been discreetly before his death.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
both probably,
work, yeah.
Because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand.
What?
I said he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand!
I remember something troubled me at the time.
Aside from him being dead.
Except for the indigestion. At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. Punctilious.
Yeah, like sort of set in his ways.
Specific.
Like
yeah, he was.
specific,
Yeah, he had a particular way. I mean, I get it. It's just like, what a word. And no document penned in the color of the ink that was in the inkwell was ever found.
So the document had disappeared. Are you suggesting that the document my father had in his hand that night in his cell was...
The same document that Lord Clint Van Zieks was writing moments before his death.
Then it was...
If Mr. Vigil's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that. Yes. Mr. Vigil!
Oh, no! Sir!
When you spotted Mr. Asogi with the document in his cell, his precise words were as follows, were they not?
All right, then. What's on that paper?
A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now.
All right.
Is it Clint's, then?
Yeah.
A last will and testament?
If the conversation really did go as Mr. Vigil says, then what we now know completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Asogi said.
You really think...
Mr. Vigil did indeed see the convict with a will, but it wasn't that of Genshin Asogi. It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zieks.
What?
No!
What? What the hell?
Objection! This madness! My brother's last will and testament?
Van Zieks is getting ready to summon his
That
persona.
would mean
Yeah.
that he had chosen to die.
Shoot.
That is what it would mean, yes.
No! Impossible! That is utterly out of the question.
Lord Van Zieks.
Clint was pursuing the professor. It consumed him day and night. Whatever happened, he would never have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. Never! He wouldn't rest until the job was done. Until the killer was caught.
Unless he was the professor, and Genshin killed him. So Genshin only ever killed one person.
Yeah. Out of necessity.
But maybe he asked as a friend.
The idea that he would willingly accept his own death. It's obscene!
Well done, Pete. Objection!
Oh, objection!
Dang it!
I know, right? And yet we can be sure that it is... Ugh, for God's sake.
We're having such
You're
a good
ruining
day.
the dramatic moment,
I know!
And the people have had to wait for half an hour.
Okay.
It's not your...
I'm sorry.
And yet we can be sure that it was his right. Oh my God! And yet we can be sure he was writing his will moments before his death.
There we go.
Good job, Cosima. I'm proud of you.
Shut up! Don't make me point you with the pokey end.
Don't make me point the pokey in you. Wait a minute.
Don't make me
I'll just leave.
point
I'm
you
just
with the
gonna go. I'm
pokey.
just gonna go.
Well, but we need
Oh,
Kazuma.
no.
It's important.
Not really. I can't chuff in speak.
I can't chop in speak.
Havers.
The axe. The Yorkshire. Come on, Ryunosuke.
And that Genshin Asogi came to be in possession of that document. So what could the will possibly have contained?
Clearly something that couldn't be made public under any circumstances whatsoever. Because armed with that document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life.
Strongheart's been a bit quiet.
I wonder why.
I wonder for how long.
It was something so damning that it prompted the powers that be to enact that darling jailbreak plot.
Daring.
The darling jailbreak.
I'm just gonna.
It's okay.
I'm sacking
Sarah. It's
myself.
sacking.
Oh no!
It's okay.
I hate
Sarah,
it. It's serious, and then I fluff it up. It's really frustrating.
Sarah's conscious because she is.
We refuse to accept your resignation.
Yes.
Also, I don't know if you realize this, but Pete and I have flubbed up more serious lines and
it's
more
true.
circumstances.
It is true. It is true.
Pete and I can barely talk some days.
And most days for me. Sarah is also just recovering from a cold, so
I am.
She is slightly cold, Sarah. She didn't say in the intro, but
No.
So-
Because I didn't think they'd be able to tell, really. I
obviously,
sound
like-
like I've got a perpetual
Oh,
cold most of the time.
so yeah. There's a slight amount of the brain fog, obviously. So you will
a
have
bit of brain. More like chuffing, like, I don't know. What's worse than fog? Probably nothing. Blizzard. Brain blizzard.
Brain blizzard.
Brain blizzard. Oh no, not blizzard. Anything but that.
Oh God.
Oh.
Yes. There can be no question that the will contained information of the utmost secrecy.
Secrecy. Information of the utmost secrecy. Ah! No. No, it couldn't be.
Oh no, what? I can't remember. What?
We'll have to find out next
Taylor,
time.
don't you dare.
Was it a confession, maybe?
I've heard more than enough.
I'm sure you have.
Pursuing this notion of a phantom will... Sorry, phantom
It's 'cause it's-
will
it says
nobody...
will, yeah.
Yeah, I know, sorry, yes, a phantom will.
Yeah.
Right. Pursuing this notion of a phantom will nobody
Pain.
can attest to, having seen... Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, it's all right. My intonation... See, now I'm doing it. Yeah, my intonation's all over the place. Sorry. Right, let me actually read it. Yep. Pursuing this notion of a phantom will nobody can attest to having seen serves absolutely no purpose.
The Oxford... Oh! Dang it!
Objection! No, my lord.
The Oxford what?
Comma. The Oxford comma saves lives.
And it was gloriously absent.
But
I thought you said it.
No, I didn't finish!
Let's see it. Quick.
No, my lord. That's unacceptable.
Unacceptable!
Damn it, Pete.
Why?
I was gonna do it.
Oh!
Never mind.
You went quick
And
enough.
on the
me,
bingo
guys.
card, as has been suggested, someone's stolen Sarah's joke / banana.
See,
So go ahead
see,
and and mark that space off.
You guys don't need me. It's fine.
And go ahead and mark off on your bingo card, Sarah attempts to quit because she...
Hey, that wasn't on the bingo card. You can't just make crap up.
And don't forget to now mark off your Sarah proceeds to argue with the guys because she wants to leave and they won't
Shut
let her.
up.
What did you say? What did you say, Council?
You heard me.
No, Taylor, stop laughing at me. I'm trying to get...
Sorry. I was just laughing at the
It's
bingo
not
card
helpful.
thing.
The last will and testament that Genshin Asogi had in his possession was that of Lord Clint Van Zeeks. all the testimony and evidence presented to the court has logically led us to that as a possibility. We have a duty to pursue the line of reasoning to its conclusion.
But with no possible means of knowing the contents of the document, there is no line of reasoning but to pursue. Is this
where Sholmes comes in?
Yeah, maybe.
A reason why Lord Clint Van Zieks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death.
So you have chosen death.
Information so secret. People in the... It'll have to be because he was really the professor.
Yeah.
Because if it had gotten out that a member of the aristocracy had been involved in that kind of scandal, it would have...
Yeah.
People in the judiciary would be willing to negotiate the jailbreak of a condemned killer. The only explanation that fits those facts is an unthinkable truth that turns absolutely everything on its head. But it's just too hideous.
Oh no, this is gonna break Barack. I feel it.
Yeah, maybe.
He's not going to be Barack Van Zieks. He's going to be Baroque Van Zieks.
Oh, that's why he's called Barack. Because he's Brock. No! He's Brock, mate.
No,
he's
don't
Brock.
Be horrible.
Because Van Zieks there, he's Brock, mate. He's Brock, isn't he?
Oh, stop it,
Mr. Naruhodo.
The gas. I was thinking very deeply then. You startled me, Sasato.
When did you get into my mind palace?
I'm always here. I've been here the whole time, Mr. Naruhodo.
Will you stop it? I'm trying to do my line.
Sorry.
However difficult the situation might become, you work with your clients in pursuit of the truth.
Pete, you stop laughing.
I'm not laughing at Sarah. I'm just laughing because it's making me think of that one comment that we got ages ago on Reddit that was like, sometimes they let the funnies get in the way and you'll be screaming at the screen for them to continue. And I'm just like, this is that exact episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which Pete is now prolonging by making meta commentary.
Oh, you shush! You can have your funnies.
Pete and Taylor arguing. Tick.
Yeah, that's another one on the card.
That's what you resolved to do when you entered the courtroom this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the great Ace Attorney 2 resolve.
Take this seriously.
Yes.
God, Taylor, stop with your meta commentary.
Will you stop it, both of
you? Miss Susato.
So hold your head high and keep soldiering on.
I read that as soldering.
Soldering.
God's sake.
I know the I.
Yes, you're right. 10 years ago, in his final moments, Lord Clint Van Zieks left behind a will. A will that Genshin Asogi was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details in the will were related to the Professor case.
The defense's last statement is mere conjecture. What are you getting at, man?
God. Ryunosuke! Christ.
As soon as these words come out of my mouth, there's no going back. I believe that the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zieks was, in fact...
A confession.
A confession.
Oh,
a safety save, in fact.
No. I guess my new theory was kind of right.
You can do this, Mr. Naruhodo.
I believe that what Lord Clint Van Zieks actually penned that day was a confession.
A confession?
Regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor and his true identity. Did I call it?
Objection!
Oh no.
Enough, Council. What are you saying? Do you even realize? A confession? About the true identity of the Professor? That would mean...
Oh no.
Lord Van Zieks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in. But it's the only explanation that fits.
Oh, Jesus.
The killer that terrorized London a decade ago and became known as the Professor. The man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy. Wasn't Genshin Asogi at all.
No! You can't be suggesting!
It was in fact the man believed to have been the 5th victim. Lord Clint Van Zieks himself!
Oh my god! Oh no.
Oh no, it failed! That was better.
It's finally open, is it? Pandora's box.
Oh my god.
Oh no, is this going to be the people, or is this... Who's this? No.
Lord Clint Van Zieks, he was a paragon of justice in the capital!
But he was actually a mass murderer? A perpetrator of atrocities?
This vile nature. If the general public ever found out, law and order would be something.
Finished.
My brother.
No.
Brother!
Christ. Oh, this is too awful. Oh, Lord Van Zieks. Jesus.
I wonder, though, did he never suspect?
Scenario?
Lord Barak Van Zieks is a brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize what his older brother really was?
This is
I'll
awful.
suspect he'll have ignored the signs.
He'll have been blinded to it because he admired him so much.
Order! Order! Order in the court! In court!
Lord Van Zieks. The Professor made use of an enormous hound as his murder weapon.
Oof. Oh yeah.
Tell me, did your brother own a dog?
Yes, he did. Balmum. He was
okay.
He was a well-known hunting dog.
I mean, that sounds pretty hellish.
People called him a giant.
Christ.
And he also had a second one, named Thraxamundar, the Breaker of Worlds.
Thraxamundar.
I don't believe this.
When my brother would go hunting in the forest of the grounds behind the house, he always took Balmung. After Clint's death, the creature passed away too. Almost as if he were following his master. He was a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-studded collar around his neck.
Jewel-studded
A
collar.
jewel-studded collar?
Which we've seen
And this is why Iris couldn't publish
the book.
The Hound of the
manuscript.
Baskervilles.
That's right. Though sadly, some years ago now, it was stolen by a thief who broke into the house one night.
A jewel-studded collar stolen by a thief? It so happens that myself and my colleagues have come across such a collar during our time in London.
Wouldn't I know it? How could you? How could you?
There was an old emblem attached to the collar too, made of pure gold.
What was this from again?
This was it was one of the Rance magazines, wasn't it?
No,
Oh, was it at the end of...
It wasn't it at the end of the first game?
it might have been. I thought it was in one of the escapades.
I mean, it might have been, but the escapades aren't really relevant. I mean, not really.
But like, yeah, where was it?
Was this not? It was Soseki's apartment.
Yeah.
Soseki's apartment.
Yeah.
There was the guy.
Oh, it was what was hidden. It was what was hidden in the treasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, Shamspear. It was what Shamspear was after, wasn't it? Because Jesus Christ, because he was like, oh yes, there was like the super duper. Like, there's the guy who stole stuff. They reckon his stash was there, and so Shamspear wanted to get into Soseki's apartment.
Yeah.
And he was really and he was really peed
off.
The
master thief broke in, stole the stuff, hid it in Soseki's apartment, and then Shamspear came along and was like, yes, I must go and reclaim the treasure for myself.
Yeah, it was one of his cellmates. I forgot the name now, and I know it's a name from the.
It's a name from the books. Yeah.
B for Balmung.
Yeah.
It was topped with a small crown and bore an ornate capital letter B.
What? An emblem bearing the initial B?
Talk about Chekhov's gun, dang.
Oh my, you know it?
It's the insignia of the Baskerville family.
What? The Baskerville? Why is that name coming up now?
Baskerville is the name of the Would he say Basker, do you think? Because he's
Baskerville.
I know it's Baskerville, but do you think he'd say Baskerville? Screw
Maybe?
it. Screw it. I've said it now. Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow.
He had a wife?
That pure gold emblem was an heirloom, which Clint acquired upon their marriage. There can be no doubt, then. The collar you've described was Balmung's.
Family insignia of Lord Clint Van Zeke's widow.
It's really hard to say Balmung in that kind of tone. It just goes like... blum, blum. It's annoying.
There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. Since we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been from its quarry, of course.
But it could equally have been from human prey.
So it is true, then.
Clint Van Zeeks really was the professor.
Impossible! Those Japanese are making it all up to exonerate their own.
Exonerate?
You shush!
You bully. So, in fact, the person responsible for these murders of nobles and royals was a noble himself.
Jesus.
And that threatened to be an enormous scandal that would irrevocably destabilize British society.
My father knew that, and was using it to negotiate his way out of the unjust charges brought against him. But at the very last hour, those he'd bargained with betrayed him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil.
Well, can you deny it, Lord Strongheart?
10 years have passed. And still now, the 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easy, believing that justice was done. That though his anonymity remains, the diabolical murderer was caught and executed. Very well, then. You may have the truth.
Oh my God.
Tell me, then. Tell me what Clint really was.
Jesus.
Lord Clint Van Zeeks was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor and went in pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to the uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals requires one to become even more fiendish oneself. Clint. Dr. Clint. The 19th century was a truly miraculous 100 years for Britain, and indeed the whole world. New industry, new technology, and with the birth of the Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. But these dazzling new developments meant even deeper shadows were cast on society. Water sullied by factories, air thick with noxious fumes, and crime growing daily to fill the darkness. Lord Clint Van Zieks made it his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate at his soul, until eventually he was consumed. It's ironic, really, and somewhat surprising, that the truth has once again been unearthed by a Japanese.
Once again? What do you mean?
Slight Van Zieks from me there, sorry. Like, 10 years ago, your father, Genshin Asogi, turned up at my office one night. The Professor?
Yes, beyond all shadow of a doubt. You must issue a warrant to search his home at once.
Don't be absurd. The man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital.
Yes, that's the point. That's why none of you British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion while he commits these atrocious crimes behind the scenes.
Do you have evidence?
Nothing definitive as yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate. We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We're up against a member of the aristocracy.
So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that's commonplace here in Britain. I'm sorry, but I can't possibly put Scottish Yard I can't possibly put Scottish Yard onto this based on the tenuous accusation of a visiting student. So I turned down Asogi's plea, and as a result, he took it upon himself to visit the Van Zieks mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, of course. Lord Clint Van Zieks perished. I don't believe this. I don't believe this.
So, in actual fact, Caspar-Sama's father did...
He made the late Lord Van Zieks meet the same fate. He put a permanent end to the Professor killings by taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life.
As soon as I heard, I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what had happened.
And? What about the will?
Asogi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We had no idea of the existence of such a document at that time.
Say, where is it then?
But why did he request it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, someone requested it. Probably him. We had no idea it existed. However, do search his cell and make sure there isn't some document there, please. I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the Professor. So, I resolved to keep it a secret, and to guard the secret to the bitter end.
So you're admitting to it? That you were behind it all?
It was you, then, who pinned the crimes on my father.
I did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. Even if that meant employing an unforgivable ruse.
Jesus.
Then it was you who arranged this fabricated evidence.
I ordered that detective to take care of it, whilst keeping the truth from him, naturally. Gregson. Obviously. He opposed me at first.
Are you off your rocker? We can't do something like that!
There's no question that it was Asogi who murdered Lord Van Zeeks. The house staff have made statements that they saw the man running from the mansion last night.
Yes, well, I've no doubt it was that Japanese fella. But we haven't got a shred of conclusive evidence against the man. And worse than that, he doesn't keep a dog, so we're short of a murder weapon to boot.
And we're short on time, Gregson.
Huh.
We must put a stop to this man's rampage, for the good of the country.
Son of a doodah.
So, we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear, Detective?
Blimey.
So, that night 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets, and Genshin's ring was taken. It was him, was it? That was Gregson, and some hired help.
Then the detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who feigned its discovery from the victim's stomach during that autopsy.
And in light of that decisive evidence, Mr. Asogi was found guilty of the charges brought against him. However, behind the scenes, he had actually already struck a deal with his accusers, in which he agreed to silently accept the charges.
I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhand dealings.
It was extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness.
His family. What weakness?
Isn't it obvious? You, Kazuma Asogi.
Me?
Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, Asogi.
What?
Though I hear you have a 14-year-old son. Agree to cooperate and accept your guilt without contention. And you will see Japan and your son again.
Wow.
You scoundrel!
Whether you choose wisely or not, it'll be a closed trial, by order of Her Majesty. So, whatever rash claims you might make in court, we'll have no trouble in stifling them. There's only one outcome for you, Asogi. The gallows.
Don't forget that I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hidden.
Yes, it hadn't escaped my mind. Which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order. You understand. So, what's it to be, Asogi?
Kazuma.
Oh, you cruel son of a...
Bit.
Yes. He did it for me.
And, as I told him at the time, my motive was simply to protect Britain from the damage the truth would do. To protect this country's law and order at any cost.
But did it really protect this country's law and order at any cost?
No.
I know.
I
mean, I have to say, I feel like at this point, Sarah's being the villain here a little bit. If it were me, after all the messing about we did at the beginning, I'd have given you a few more minutes. But
oh wow, wow, okay.
But Sarah's like,
fine, no, we'll carry on.
But
It's
Sarah's
fine.
like,
no,
nope.
Belay that order. Carry on then. I'll just keep
Don't worry,
me gob
everybody.
shut.
Don't worry, everybody. I've got your back. I've got your back.
Wow, I've just been gaslighted.
Gaslighting?
Wow.
That's not gaslighting. Objection! Oh god, am I going to regret this though now? Because now I've got to do like a load of shouty
This is going to be
bansies.
karma on you.
I've never dared let myself even consider this possibility until now. But in the light of all this treachery, I have to ask. The mastermind behind the Reaper of the Bailey. Was it you, Lord Mael Strongheart?
Oh, I want to wipe that smug look off his face.
A rather brilliant idea, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
Lord Baroque Van Zeeks?
Oh my god. I want to stab him in the eyes right now.
That the spirit of your late brother, the paragon of justice, should return to reap justice for his sibling. Could there be a more appetizing tale for London's masses, I ask you?
Oh my god, you... This makes me so freaking angry right now. What? Brazen!
I knew that you'd play the part to perfection. But your role really wasn't that of some embodiment of death. No, you were London's guardian angel. An angel with bloody hands? I think not. Those who had cooperated with me already were only too happy to participate in my plan. Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson. My minions worked tirelessly to ensure that the finger of guilt could never come to rest on you. It's all thanks to them that you were exalted as the demigod the Reaper became.
But Dr. Wilson left Britain 4 years ago when he was invited to work in Japan.
That's right. So, I had to employ the services of his young protege after that. Dr. Courtney Scythe.
Dr. Scythe?
So, with that So, what with the execution of the Professor and the subsequent reign of the Reaper of the Bailey, I've successfully safeguarded law and order in our mighty capital for the past decade. That is everything. Why are you all so quiet all of a sudden?
We're all plotting your demise.
And now that I've told you all of this, I'm afraid I'm going to have to kill you.
Unleash the bees!
Oh, Christ.
My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, I do hereby confess it was I who sired the concept of the Reaper. However, let me say in my defense...
You've got no frickin' right to demand defense, mate.
It was all for the preservation of law and order across the entire empire!
Yeah.
Lord Strongheart did it?
An unforgivable collection of crimes, but still.
All those who died at the Reaper's hand were rotten to the core anyway.
If it was all in aid of keeping London safe, well, I suppose he's all right then.
There is no one left now who can reveal the precise truth of what happened 10 years ago. Therefore, this trial can go no further.
Now the bunny.
There's gotta be, yeah.
Now, I would like to entreat all those present to a healthy helping of poison. Beyond these four walls, nobody need know the truth. Even Her Majesty must be protected from this. I trust you all appreciate the importance of my request. It is, of course, for the good of the country.
Good old Queen
The
Vic
greater
sat up
good.
there in the gallery, just like, well, I've heard the entire thing now, so off with his head.
Can they do this? Can the trial really end now?
And then Sholmes is like, "Oh, hello, Your Majesty. I just thought I'd pop in for a spiffing cup of tea."
She's been in the aftershave the whole time.
Wait. It's like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, it's this little mouse. Oh, it's so adorable, isn't it? Why don't you have a little pull on the ears and have a listen carefully?" "Yes, I did it. I did the Reaper and all this sort of stuff."
Whoa, now.
And
I did the
came up
Reaper,
with
my
the
dear fellow.
concept of the Reaper for frick's sake. I was trying to do a bit where Sholmes is revealing to the Queen.
I
that
know.
he
Oh,
did
yes.
it, but
I got
you-
it, I got
know,
it.
But you ruined it with the sex joke.
Oh.
Hold it.
Hold it! Hold it! I have one last question.
But what question does he have? What is the last question? We don't know. We'll have to find out.
I've
next
got
time.
another confession, my friends.
I have a confession to make.
I think we've heard the confession.
Yep.
Can I do it now? Can I do the outro now?
Yes, you can. Now that my spirit has been so thoroughly destroyed. you may
Why?
No.
You called me a villain. This is what you deserve. Thank you very much for tuning
little
in
bit.
and watching. If you do like what we do, please consider giving us a like, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. You'll be notified of our video uploads every Wednesday and Saturday. And in the meantime, while you're waiting for the next exciting installment, we've got some other episodes on the channel, so why not go check them out?
Yeah.
And remember, resolve to watch this with us until the very end, because I feel like the conclusion is just up ahead.